Coming up next on America's Horse, the ultimate test for a young cow horse who can cut, rein, and survive the fence. It's the NRCHA Snaffle Futurity from Reno, Nevada.
America's Horse, the international report on the world's most versatile equine breed, the American Quarter Horse.
Welcome to Reno, Nevada, the biggest little city in the world and home to the main event for the National Rank Cow Horse Association, the Snaffle Futurity. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Metters. With me, multiple NRCHA champion Robert Chown. And Robert, we're going to split this event in half. We're going to crown a non-pro champion and an open champion.
That's right, Jeff. But one thing all these horses are going to have in common is they're all going to be 3 years old, which means they're not real experienced. This is probably their first or second show. Another thing is they're all going to be rode two-handed in a smooth snaffle.
We're going to start on the non-pro side of things, where Mike Miller dominated the prelims, but can't count out a four-time champion in Annie Reynolds. Well, we start with the top contender, Annie Reynolds, a four-time champion, riding Very Smart Sir, sired by Very Smart Remedy.
Annie was not only a four-time champion, she's the defending champion.
And did very well in the prelims, 213 in the herd work, and improved on that a little bit here, Robert, with 217.
Yeah, she looks good. You can see she's very even with this cow. Going left, going right.
Well, in her history of success, she's one to keep an eye on. Travelin' Cielo, ridden by Eric Freitas, also owned by Eric, and Travelin' Cielo, sired by Travelina.
See this horse right there, boy, he showed a lot of expression, kind of getting, really crouching down there, using his hocks.
Marked a 212 in the prelims, a little bit better than that, though, when it really mattered, 215 and a half. Now to smartlight.com, Jerry Alford, the rider, and this is a horse that Jerry and Shelley Alford own. The sire here, I'll Be Smart.
Boy, this horse right here, you can see he's really clean with his front end. I mean, he picks it up, comes all the way through the turn. Very graceful.
Going to talk about consistency, 215 and a half in the prelims, and then in the finals, exact same score, 215 and a half. Now to Hickory's Mr. Chip, Lori Ward is the rider. Ronnie Richards is the owner, and I think anytime you get into rein cow horse competition, the name Ward carries a lot of weight.
You bet. Lori is a great competitor. Ronnie Richards, that's her dad, Hall of Fame member, great horseman. I grew up just idolizing the man.
Lori was the runner-up, the reserve champion here a year ago. 217 in the prelims, not quite as strong here in the finals, 215. Now to Where's My Shine? Michelle Cohen is the rider. William and Michelle Cohen, the owner. And the sire here, Shining Spark. Taking a deep cut here, and you come into the finals and you can't win it in the herd work, but you can darn sure lose it.
You bet you can.
What's going through your mind at this stage?
You know, I think right now, well, she's probably, she's got some cattle there she's wanting to cut. She's going to step up there and try to be real clean. Like you can see right there, that red cow kind of presented himself. She's stepping over there. Now she's just trying to get, a good run started. This horse is going through there real nice, showing some expression. Michelle and her husband Bill up in Oklahoma. Michelle is a great competitor, works really hard at it, very talented, and she's usually riding a really good horse. You add all three of those things together, that's a pretty deadly combination.
217 in the prelims, homebred, how does that help you?
I think I don't know if it helps you at all when you're out there, but it's sure sentimental value. It means a lot to you. And I think it means a lot when you do well on them, maybe a little extra. It's kind of like your kid.
First cow complete, back to the herd again after cow number 2.
See her herd holders there. It's Todd Crawford on this side, John Rozier on the other side, assisting her out there. She's going to, this little Charolais steer here, step over there. She's cutting on a nice line. She's keeping this cow out there in front of the herd. You see she's not going back and forth. Well, now that I say that, he takes off. But she's keeping this cow right centered up real nice and real accurate. Getting off that cow, going to try to get her one more before the buzzer goes off.
Boy, gets plenty of advice out there. That has to help her when you have that kind of skill out there in the arena helping you, and chips that third cow off pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Going to try to end strong here. This is a lot of cow, really trying her.
Trying to up that degree of difficulty and maybe separate herself from the pack.
I think right now she's wanting the buzzer. She's having to work pretty hard right there now. Gutsy performance. Good job.
But it just added the points up for Michelle Cowan. And Where's My Shine? Wow, we mentioned the 217 in the prelims, coming back here with a 222.
Congratulations, Michelle. Great job.
The second cow for her, not quite as white-knuckled as the third, but when they added up the points, Michelle Cowan with a commanding lead after the herd work. But we're just getting warmed up. Time for the American Quarter Horse to shift gears, spin, stop, circles, all coming up as the reining part of the competition is next.
Hi, I'm AQHA professional horsewoman Kathy Stoops. And did you know that improper fencing materials could lead to injury for your horse? There are many safe materials available, like barbless wire, horse fence, panels, and electric fencing, just to name a few. Don't forget to cap T-posts and make sure that wire ties don't stick out. Keep in mind that fences should be at least 5 feet tall. To help you calculate the quantity of fencing supplies, visit the advice section at mytscstore.com.
This tip is brought to you by Tractor Supply, the official farm and ranch improvement partner of AQHA. To find a Tractor Supply store in your area, visit mytscstore.com.
America's Horse is brought to you by Ford. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. Bank of America, the official credit card of AQHA. American Quarter Horse Association. Discover your lifestyle. And by Bear Corporation, makers of quality animal health products.
Welcome back to Reno and the National Range Cow Horse Association Futurity, and not far from the Livestock Event Center, the great outdoors. Lots to see and do in this area. Back to the rein work part of our competition. This is Talking Prize, ridden and owned by Justin Wright. The sire here, Smoke'em's Prize.
Smoke'em's Prize was a champion in the open division of this event and a reserve champion in a non-pro division in 2000. So great cow horse pedigree here. Running down the pen, building speed good for a big stop.
213 in the herd work, 218 in the rein work. Now to Buck's Genuine Fever. Mike Miller is the rider. Miller Land and Livestock is the owner. The sire here, Playboy's Buck Fever.
Which Mike owns. Beautiful buckskin horse.
214 in the herd work. Improved on that in the reining, 217 and a half.
Nice turnaround right there.
And here's Michelle Cowan, who really shined in the herd work, 222. Where's My Shine? The sire here, Shining Spark. Boy, 222 coming out of the herd work. You maybe feel a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather have that kind of pressure than the other kind of trying to make something up. You know, she's wanting to add to her total here.
Followed up pretty strong, 216 in the reining. As we mentioned, the sire there is Shining Spark. They had a great weekend here in Reno. No horse has had a bigger impact on the National Rein Cow Horse Association than Shining Spark, and during this year's Futurity, he became the first $2 million sire in NRCHA history. In fact, at this year's Snaffle Bit Futurity, 26 entries sired by Shining Spark. He had the amateur champion and had the high seller at the Futurity Performance Horse Sale. And he also had a great resume in the arena. National Reining Horse Association Derby champion, AQHA Junior Reining World champion. In fact, he sired 51 AQHA World or Reserve World champions. He calls Gainesville, Texas home at Carol Rose Quarter Horses. And this is a match made in heaven. I don't think his address will ever change. Carol is one very proud owner.
You know, it's thrilling to have Shining Spark go over the $2 million in the National Rein Cow Horse Association. It's just, you know, records are made to be broken, and he's been a great sire for this organization as well as the reining. And I hope someday to have him active and also in the cutting.
Congratulations to Carroll and that great sire in the NFL. He'd be known as a franchise player. He's made a huge impact, and you know the story continues right here. This is Shiner's Red Pepper, owned and ridden by Robert Smith.
Yeah, congratulations to Carroll and Shiner. You know, you don't get that kind of record having a few good colts out there one year. He's been knocking them down year after year after year.
What an impact in the NRCHA, the NRHA.
About anywhere you want to show them.
Yeah, now setting her sights on the NCHA.
Stylish turn right there. Maybe not quite as much speed as some of the other we've seen, but real stylish.
And now to Annie Reynolds on another one of her horses that she has in the finals. This is Very Smart Flojo. How does it help you to have multiple entries in the final?
You know, I tell you what, it can work both ways. Multiple entries means multiple chances, which is always a good thing. The thing is, though, with multiple entries, you better have those things pretty solid because your preparation time on each mount is seriously cut down. So I think it's kind of a two-edged sword there. But this horse right here, you can see Annie ran through those large, fast circles. Really nice. This horse came back. It's what we call a real good mover. Moves real clean. Speeded up real nice there, guiding between the reins. You see this horse at all different spots of that circle looks about the same. That's what we want. She's not ducking in, leaning out, any of that. Clean lead change there. Starts the other way. Now you can see right here, this looks the same as the other side.
You know, the trend in reining now is really fast, large, aggressive circles. Starting to see that in the NRCHA as well.
Yes, especially in the finals. You know, speed raises the degree of difficulty. So the more speed you can put in that pattern, as long as it's controlled and pretty like this is, the higher degree of difficulty, better the score. Real relaxed right there. I mean, that horse has been running, but you see that horse comes back, it's real relaxed. That horse, you know, speed doesn't bother this horse. She's being asked to run right there. She's very comfortable. Like, look at that. I mean, that's relaxed.
You know, we look so much at the horse and how well can he do all three events. I guess you get into the riders maybe have different strengths. Maybe the herd work, maybe the fence work, or, you know, maybe even the rein work.
Absolutely. You know, I think riders will have their strengths. This, going back to the degree of difficulty, though, this competition has gotten so tough. You better be pretty good at everything.
Well-rounded and nice sliding stop there.
Yes, and Annie rode that horse into that stop real good. You see that run? It was long. There was no check to it.
First set of turnarounds
really
here.
Really stylish turn there. A lot of step. Stayed in the snaffle real well. Now she's going to lope off here. Watch this horse build in speed every stride, too. Just like a jet plane taking off. And then hits that big stop.
Can you train the wow factor into a horse, or is it just something they're born with?
You know, the training, they have what God-given talent they were born with. Now, that needs to be developed. You know, you can't train an average stopper to a great stopper. Now, with improper training, I think that great stopper should be made average. But obviously, that is not the case here.
Multiple entries in the finals, great horsemanship, and you're starting to see why Annie Reynolds is so famous in the rein cow horse circles, and very good here as well. 220.5, and she wins the rein work. When we come back, it's the game that they play, horse versus cow. The fence work is coming up. Welcome back to America's Horse in Reno, Nevada. Every year at the Snaffle Bit Futurity, the NRCHA holds its Hall of Fame banquet, recognizing the new inductees. It's also time to help raise money through a silent auction and enjoy live music and entertainment, and recognize some of the winners prior to the Open. And here's a list of some of the winners in the other events. But the event that it's best known for, the Rein Cow Horse Futurity, the non-pro title on the line, Gold Diolina here, ridden by Taryn Rice.
Taryn Rice is the son of Boyd Rice, who we're going to see later. Kind of got a cow there that didn't really want to shape. Really nice right turn there. Hustles out to a circle. A little slip right there.
213 in the prelims on the fence, but really improved on that to 218. Talking Prize, ridden and owned by Justin Wright.
Saw this horse earlier in the herd work. Smoking Prize again, NRCHA Futurity champion from a few years back. Justin doing a nice job here boxing this cow and easing that cow around the corner, setting him up down the fence for a good left turn.
Another big
There it is.
improvement from the prelims. 211 in the prelims, 217.5 in the finals. And smartlight.com, ridden by Jerry Albert.
Jerry rated that cow real good. First direction, comes back, gets him a big right turn, goes to the middle. He's trying to get up there to the head, circle this cow. As you can see right there, he has a lot of control. That cow kind of faded off, which makes it harder for that horse to get up there. Very nice left circle right there. Going to switch sides and finish his run.
And now to Where's My Shine, who started this thing off on the right foot with a 222 in the herd work, 216 in the reined work, and came back on the fence work. And Michelle Cowan, boy, she didn't let up on him. 218 here.
She stuck her foot on the gas and then floored it all the way through.
That 218 would give her a commanding lead in the non-pro battle.
Hustling to catch that cow right now, but don't fill out your deposit slip until this lady's gone.
Annie Reynolds with 3 in the non-pro final. She'd make the top 10 on all 3. This is Shirley Smart, sired by Smart Little Lena. Not going to win with Shirley Smart, but this 4-time champion showed him how it's done on the fence.
I remember Annie showed this mare's mother. I really liked her. So there again, that breeding will pay. She's boxing this cow back and forth there, staying real even. She's trying to get this cow also to acknowledge that she's there. You see, she stepped outside and moving that cow back and forth a little bit, not just like she's cutting it, but actually wants to move it and go stop it so that cow knows she's there. Then when she goes around the corner wide open, this thing will blink when she rides in front of it, and that's all she'll need.
By the time you get done boxing the cow, do you have a pretty good game plan in terms of what to expect once that cow makes the move right here?
You do a lot of times. You know, some cattle don't read the same. This cow's running really hard, but see, when she got up there, that cow honored her a little bit, but she was in outstanding position. Now this right turn right here, this is a little harder. That cow got off the fence. That's hard right there because you don't have that fence to keep everything kind of tight. Went right back out there, fired out into that left circle. Now she's going pretty high rate of speed right there. Smooth switching sides. You can see from the time that cow let out till the time she's going to quit here, she had total control. Great run.
Boy, the horn sounds, and the score for Shirley Smart and Annie Reynolds, 221, and that is the way a 4-time champion does it. But it was Michelle Cowan and Where's My Shine, 6:56 after 3 events, a commanding win for her. But Annie Reynolds in 4th place there. You see her in 7th place, and she also got very smart Flojo into the top 10. She won the battle, but it was Michelle Cowan who winds up winning the non-pro war and the title.
Oh, it feels amazing. I can't believe it. It's still unbelievable. God was with us today, and it's been a really good trip today. She's really the best in the cutting, and we held a really tough cow there at the end, and they paid us for it, and she was really on today.
When we return to Reno, we'll up the ante. Time for the open competitors to go to work.
I'm Carol Rose from Carol Rose Quarter Horses. Many people ask, when is the best time to bathe a horse? We treat our horses just like we treat ourselves. We bathe the horse after each workout, and we bathe him from head to toe, making sure that we bathe his legs and underneath his tail. Following that bath, we use a warm, high-quality liniment mixed with water to prevent and relieve any soreness he may have gotten from the workout. We always bathe the horse at least once a week, or more often if necessary, with a high-quality shampoo, and make sure that you bathe his mane and tail. We always bathe the horse with shampoo before performance, before competition, or for any special occasion where we want our horse to look perfect. We believe that a clean horse is a healthy horse.
This grooming tip is brought to you by Vetrolin, the official grooming and conditioning products of AQHA. To find a Vetrolin retailer in your area, visit farnhamhorse.com.
Welcome back to Reno. Jeff Meadors along with Robert Chown, ready for the open finals. We start with some numbers, 279 entries, $100,000 to the winner, and it is a tough final field. 6 past champions in there.
Yes, it is, Jeff. We've got Todd Crawford, the defending champion, with an amazing 4 horses qualified back for today's finals. We're going to see Bob Avila. We're also going to see the highest scoring horse of the preliminaries, ridden by Robbie Boyce and owned by a great ambassador for both the AQHA and the NRCHA, Lyle Lovett.
Well, no pressure riding Lyle Lovett's horse, playing Shiny Links. Robbie Boyce, dominate the prelims. Is that a jinx or is that a blessing?
I've seen it go both ways. This horse is a really nice horse, going over there, stopping, using its front end, coming back. Robbie's got this one looking great.
212 for them in the prelims, and followed that up with 214 and a half. Doesn't hurt you too bad.
No.
Looking back on what Robbie was trying to get done, the last cow for him was key. This is what he had to say when the herd work was all said and done.
That last cow, she was right underneath me there when I went back in to cut my third cow, and she was right there underneath us, cut clean, and finished real strong.
Now to Diamond J Jr., ridden by Sandy Collier. What a great veteran she is. Diana Sarasola is the owner. The sire here, Diamond J Star.
Sandy, of course, is a past champion of this event, and I believe she also rode this horse's sire. So we're now seeing riders riding offspring of horses they rode.
Scored 213 and a half in the prelims. Would love to have improved on that just a little bit here, but wound up with a 213. Now to OK in short. Boyd Rice is the rider. Kevin and Sydney Knight are the owners.
Boyd, of course, well known for in cutting horse circles, NCHA world champion, major event finalist. He has worked really hard at his rein work and fence work, which we'll see later. But he's got this one really smoking.
Well, with the cutting background, you can see that in the prelims with a 223. When it came to what he got done here, though, wound up with a score of 217. And in talking to Boyd after it was all said and done, I think the motto there was, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Here's what he had to say.
First 2 cows wasn't very good, and the horse felt good, and then the last cow was real good. If I could have cut 3 like the last one, I think I'd have been a lot better off, but got along. I'm all right.
Thank you. He'll be in good shape heading into the rain work. Now to Lena Cat Jack, ridden by Todd Crawford. He won this just a year ago, finally getting this notch in his belt loops, and Shannon and Herschel Reed are the owners. And for Todd, he had so many entries in this year's final. Due to time constraints, we can't mention them all.
Todd is just a great competitor, and here he is again. Got a son, Alina Spark here, looking great.
He was the heartbreak kid in this event until he got the win. 214 and a half in the herd work. And now to the best of the Futurity. She's full of diamonds. Lance Johnston is the rider. Gary and Kay Watt are the owners. He's a Pepto Spoon Small is the sire, and you want to get off to a good start in this Futurity, and nobody did it better than Lance.
No, but there again, got that Shining Spark influence on the bottom side with Shining Rings. But Lance is going to step through there. I'm sure he's got an idea of what he's going to go cut again here, but then he'll have something checked off if he needs to. Right there, kind of sorting on through there. What's that red mod over there?
Al Dunning, one of the helpers out there, and if you watch a National Cutting Horse Association event, have to drop your hands and let the horse do most of the work. At an NRCHA event, you can rein the horse, and how does that help you?
Well, it sure helps. There is no rein rule penalty like there is in cutting, but that horse really needs to take a hold of that cow. He's doing most of it on his own. You can help him, but if he's not cowing, you're not going to be able to get through this very good.
1 cow down, back into the herd for cow number 2. It's kind of controlled chaos out there. They have a game plan. They have a cow that they're going after.
You bet. When it gets to looking like a Chinese fire drill, you're in trouble. There, oh, that was pretty. See this horse, get over there, it's got a lot of style, a lot of crouch, a lot of expression.
That's what you're after in the herd work. Just get one that'll go out there and show off a little bit.
Yeah, this horse shows a lot of intensity on a cow. You can tell a cow is very important to this horse. Beautiful. Now he can get off that cow right there, even though that cow is facing him, because it stands still. If it would have been moving and facing him, that would have been called a hot quit and would have been a major penalty.
When he stopped there, he had about 30 seconds left and chips his third cow off rather easily and has plenty of time to work here on the final cow.
Yeah, he's got a great run going. He's just trying to finish this thing up, get him some more points. He wants all he can get. It's going to be a long day, and you're going to need every point you can find out there. That was beautiful.
Well, you could tell that he liked it. She's Full of Diamonds, a daughter of He's a Pepto Spoonsful. Back to the action, and Lance Johnston doing what he needs to do to get off on the right foot in this competition and maybe win an NRCHA title. He built a run, getting stronger with every cow.
That first cow, stepped out, cut it clean. Wasn't quite as good as I thought it'd be, but it wasn't bad. It didn't hurt me. Second cow, Al Dunning had picked out. I was going for another one, and it didn't shape up, so I took Al's cow. He was right. It was great. Third cow, I just chipped off the top. There was two that came out. The gray one didn't look any good, so I went with the black one with the ear, and it was a good cow to finish on.
Mamma mia, that was a nice ride by Lance Johnston. The Italian Festival also going on in downtown Reno. Just another reason to stop in for the Snaffle Bit Futurity. We'll rein in the fun next when America's Horse returns. Welcome back to America's Horse. During the opening ceremonies at the Open Finals, all the Hall of Fame members were brought into the arena. Current Hall of Fame members walked the red carpet and were introduced to the crowd. Members were presented commemorative rings, and congratulations to this year's inductees, Kenny Pugh, Jim Paul, Dwayne Pettibone, and Smoke Spell. Back to the arena in the reining competition. Handled at Playgun, sired by Playgun and ridden by Zane Davis. John Semenick is the owner, and Zane Davis, former rodeo cowboy, rode bareback horses in college. Made a pretty smooth transition from the bareback horses to the rein cow horses.
He's been doing outstanding the last couple of years. Nice looking gray Playgun here.
All-Star Starlight, ridden by John Rozier. Impact Performance Horses, the owner, and John Rozier, kind of old school and one of the guys you got to keep an eye on.
You bet you do for this past champion. Nice run there. Big stop at the end of it. We're settled for just a second here. Step up and complete his left turn.
212 in the herd work, 217.5 in the rein work. Indian Pep Hickory, ridden by Jay McLaughlin, owned by Julie Gibbons. 207 in the herd work, but got a little bit better here in the reining part of the competition.
Yeah, Jay from Missouri, don't ever count Jay out. He's a tough competitor, and he's got that never say die attitude. Looking for his left spins here. Steps around there real nice.
217.5. Nick's Black Diamond, ridden by Todd Bergen, owned by Mark and Kelly Gowing. Sire here, nick it in the bud, and you expect guys like Todd Bergen to hang a big number on you in the reining part of the competition.
Yes, you do. You know, Todd, his horses are real physical, but they go with so much finesse. You can see this horse carries himself a little different than some of the other horses. Those are all things that in the reining separate Todd just a little bit.
And another reiner that knows his way to the win circle, Todd Crawford. We talked about the multiple entries that he had in the finals. This is Lena Cat Jack, owned by Shannon and Herschel Reed. The sire here, Lena Spark. Guys like Todd Bergen and Todd Crawford, those are guys that, I could watch rein horses just all afternoon.
You know, they really almost make it look too easy sometimes. Their horses just can be bionic. This horse right here, look how smooth this horse is loping through there. Beautiful horse, beautiful mover. Nice transition of speed there. Now Todd's going to step up and ask this thing to run again. There again, a lot of consistency in that circles, and he's going fast there.
They were very good in the herd, 214.5. It's all about jockeying for position. You just want to have a chance to win it when you go to the fence.
Yes, you do. You're looking for every little half point you can, because in this deal where you've got 3 events, the order as far as the standings, it might swap around who knows how many times from the time it starts till the time it's over. Horse comes back nice there, real quiet. Steps out there in his big fast circle. You can see he's got some slack in the reins there. Very nice picture.
When I first started coming to the rein cow horse events back in the late 80s, dominated by guys like Teddy Robinson and John Ward, and then you see the influx from the reining side of things. You had Todd Bergen, who we just saw, and Todd Crawford really changed the game. And Everybody's really competitive now, but the level of competition is just sky high.
Boy, that was pretty, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
That was a beautiful stop. And going on with what you're saying there, now you're seeing the same thing. You got Boyd Rice coming from the cutting. So it's just raising everybody's game everywhere. Nice set of turns there. Todd's setting this horse up for his lead departure. Steps off smooth. Now he takes off. Beautiful stop there. Ran real hard. You see that horse never changed up front. Hit the ground with his rear end, dug deep. Went a long ways. Good right turn. A lot of position.
Boy, it's just a complete package, and that's what you expect from Todd Crawford.
You bet you do. One more big stop. Smooth back up.
$214.5 in the herd work, $219.5 in the rein work, and Todd Crawford and Lena Cat Jack contenders as they got ready to go to the fence. Lyle Lovett was one of a number of celebrities in the first ever NRCHA celebrity boxing event. We're talking boxing a cow, not boxing each other. We'll see how the open riders fare right after this.
Hi, I'm AQHA professional horsewoman Kathy Stoops. We've all used one of these to do battle with a flying insect. However, around the barn, this isn't the most effective tool. Barn stalls and pens are attractive to flies and other pests because of manure, feed, and, of course, horses. They are not only bothersome to you and your horse, but they can be a source of disease and they dirty up your place. You can wage an effective war on these pests by using a number of weapons. Consider an insecticide to spray inside and outside of the barn. Be sure not to spray feed or water containers. There's also a variety of fly traps and bait that can entice flies with an attractant. Fly traps are easily disposed when full. If you use bait, be sure that other animals don't have access to it. You also can use a fly spray specifically designed for horses. These products repel and kill different kinds of flies and other insects, and some even contain sunscreens.
This tip is brought to you by Tractor Supply, the official farm and ranch improvement partner of AQHA. To find a Tractor Supply store in your area, visit mytscstore.com.
Welcome back to America's Horse, Reno, Nevada, the Snaffle Bit Futurity, and great food and great action. That's starting to make me hungry. Time for the fence. Indy and Pep Hickory, ridden by Jay McLaughlin. Hickory's Indian is the sire.
See, that cow right there didn't want to shave down the fence, and Jay pulled that one out big time. He was working really hard trying to get to the head. Goes out there again, gets a little loose right there. You see a little gap, between the cow and the horse there. But I mean, this is a high degree of difficulty, which the judges will take in mind.
216, 640.5 total in 3 events. Spark Me Again, ridden by Todd Bergen. Shining Spark is the sire.
Had a big left turn there. That cow kind of broke off his hip, and he had to do what's called the loop, which is bring that cow back, set him up the other way. Big right turn right there. Steps out 3 circles.
Had a pair of 211s in the herd work and the reining work, and then 215.5 on the fence. His total after 3 events, 637.5. All-Star Starlight was ridden by John Rozier. Checks out this Remedy as the sire of the owner, Impact Performance Horses.
John's just a master going down the fence. He's got so much timing and so much feel with a horse. You never see him just really pulling, and he always just looks so relaxed up there and smooth. Oh, that was beautiful. See that horse really use his hocks right there and just stop that cow and turn him.
214 on the fence. Those were some of the highlights. And now to Bob Avila on Shiny DeMeo. Sire here, Shining Spark. Alan and Kay Needles, the owner. Boy, and Bob Avila, you know, forget the video. He could do a book on how you go down the fence.
Hasn't he? Of course, Bob needs no introduction. You know, he is unbelievably decorated in NRCHA, NRHA, AQHA, you name it. He's probably won it.
Twice.
Yeah. See right here, he's boxing that cow across there. Or again, getting his horse kind of hooked to that cow. Now he's going to roll this cow around the corner. There you go. See how he leaves with that cow.
He had a 207 in the herd, 212 in the reining.
Huge.
So he needed to gobble up a little ground right here. Needed to put a big score on the board.
Both turns were huge. He's a little behind right there. That cow, you can see that cow kind of breaking off, and that is really hard. This horse is trying really hard. He'll get there. He's trying to get to that head. Now he's going to switch sides. That'll cost him a little bit for not getting up that way, but the quality of his turns were so huge. He's going to mark big.
Boy, showing him how it's done. 2:19.5 for Shani DeMeo and Bob Avila, the veteran. One more look at him on the fence.
You can see right there, that horse just inhaled that cow. He's riding hard back the other way and then does it again right there.
It was good, you know. I mean, I haven't had a lot of luck today, so I thought, I better let it hang out. And, first 2 turns were big. Went to the middle. I got a little behind there, but, it worked out good so far. It's going to give me a good check.
Boy, and from a guy who wrote the book on how to ride in reined cow horse competition to Zane Davis, the youngster from Idaho trying to make a name for himself, and a good showing for him. Handle It Playgun is the horse, sired by Playgun. John Semenick is the owner.
Well, Zane is making a name for himself, and he's doing it with consistent performances. See, this horse right here has got a lot of style over there. Every time he stops, really uses his hocks. Now, he's wanting to roll. This cow, he's reading this cow right there, and I think he's afraid this cow is not going to run hard enough if he stays there and boxes. So he went pretty early. That cow came back underneath him, and he couldn't go when he wanted to, had to go over there again. Cow got off the fence there. That was a high degree of difficulty there. He had to turn that cow off the fence. He's going Mach 2 with his hair on fire right there.
Well, he has a rodeo background. His dad is Sean Davis, very famous in the PRCA ranks, saddle bronc rider. I watched Zane ride the bareback horses in college, but what a smooth transition he's made over to reined cow horse competition.
Absolutely.
Looks like he's been in the saddle all his life.
Trying to get to the head right there, which he does.
2:10 in the herd work, 2:17.5 in the reined work, and a 2:17 on the fence. What a star in the making. Reno After Dark, it's an exciting place, and we're not done. We'll crown our champion when we come back.
America's Horse has been brought to you by Bear Corporation, makers of quality animal health products. FedEx, you can always rely on the ultimate in reliable shipping. Relax, it's FedEx, Professional's Choice, the official provider of sports medicine products. And by Bank of America, the official credit card of AQHA.
Well, you can't buy a lift ticket yet at Lake Tahoe, but that does not mean that you can't ski in Reno. That's an extreme sport.
Not near as extreme as what we're about to see here.
No, it's not. Back to the competition. She's Full of Diamonds. This is a daughter of He's a Pepto Spoonful. Lance Johnston, the rider. Gary and Kay Watt, the owner.
This is the horse we saw that did such a fabulous job in herd work.
2:20 in the herd work, came back with a 2:11.5 in the reining work, and boy, now you really got to build something and put a number on the board here to have a chance to win.
You bet. This cow right here, you see that cow kind of challenging him that way. This cow run hard that way twice. It's going to take him clear to the corner, and he's wanting to make sure he waited there just a second to make sure that cow went back to the center, because he doesn't want to go down that other fence. There's not a penalty there, but the judges are sitting on that fence, and they'll mark, they can see better on that fence across. Lance is doing a really nice job stuffing that cow up into that corner, and then has him really lined out going down the fence. Nice turn there. You see that cow broke off his hip again, so he's going to go do that loop. He'll bring him back around here, stuff him up in this corner, and go get him a right-hand turn, and then he'll probably be going to the middle because this cow's weakening a little bit.
And that's exactly what he's done.
Nice circle there. Now, not the speed that we've seen from some of the other competitors, but the position is perfect.
2:17 for She's Full of Diamonds and Lance Johnston. We add that with the 2:20, the 2:11.5, 6:48.5 total. As you mentioned, this cow just running out of air a little bit late there, and when it was all said and done, he has the lead, but mixed emotions from Lance Johnston.
He came to me in the turns, but I think it cost me from being a 220 something because the way that cow made me go way by him. both turns, both first and second, and the circling was great. She circled great, and it was as good as can be.
Now to Nick's Black Diamond, owned by Mark and Kelly Gowing, ridden by Todd Bergen. 204 in the herd work. That's pretty costly, but pretty strong in the reining work, 216.5.
He really needs to step up here, which he's more than capable. Everybody knows that. Todd, past champion of this event. This horse is breaking off nice, going over there. What I mean by breaking off is he'll step up there and that cow takes off one way and that horse just snaps over there with him.
Todd's won the Snaffle Bit Futurity and the NRCHA Futurity. Bob AVILA's done that. It's a short list of cowboys that have made that accomplishment.
Yes, and Todd worked for Bob. So a lot of pedigree there as far as the trainers go.
We're taking his time in boxing this cow.
A little bit. He's trying to get a good shot there. He hasn't had a good shot. See, he wants that cow to roll around the corner. He doesn't want to take that cow while he's over there kind of standing flat-footed. Nice run there. Huge turn. Right back the other way. Judges are going to really like this. Big turn there. Another one. Now you see he went 3 turns. Coming out of that second turn, that cow was a little too far away from him. He wanted to put that cow right in his lap so he could step around and circle him this tight.
Not a penalty for that?
Absolutely not.
Boy, and Todd Bergen showing off a little bit here. 222. So it was the herd work that kind of did him in a little bit. 204 there, 216.5, and then you got to like what he did on the fence.
Absolutely.
642.5 total, not good enough to catch Lance Johnston, but he's in second place at the moment when it comes to this horse. Finally got the job done.
This horse can go down the fence, and I haven't got him showed, and everybody was doubting him, and so it felt good to get him showed. I mean, whenever you can put a run together like that, it feels good, especially on tough cattle like we've been working all week.
Well, and that set the stage for OK and Short, ridden by Boyd Rice, owned by Kevin and Sydney Knight. After 2 events, 430.5, they need a 218.5 to get the win.
Well, Boyd is more than capable. Boyd has worked really hard at his rein work and his fence work. He's rode with guys like Todd Crawford and Hall of Famer Don Murphy. See this horse just showing a ton of expression, running over there. Boyd's got to be liking this cow right now. He's real physical, but this cow's honoring him. Now I'd like to see him a little closer right there. You see that cow kind of came off the fence there, went diagonally across the arena. Huge turn. I don't know, the judges might look at that as far as where he turned that cow in the arena for a possible penalty situation, but this run is huge. Physical turn there.
217 in the herd, 213.5 in the reining.
Beautiful run. I mean, this is physical. He's running up there in position. Great job.
Needed 218.5, gets 222.5, 653, but it's a score that would go under review.
I think he's going to be all right, but you look at that turn right there. I mean, that was open field. That horse hit his butt and came through. That is very hard to do. Then goes back to the right and just scoops him out of the middle of the arena. That's exciting stuff if you like cowboys.
Boy, and a dominating win. It would hold up at 222.5. Wins by 4.5 points. That is a mile out in front for Boyd Rice and OK and Short. Here's a look at the final stats, and you see that Boyd Rice gets the win. Lance Johnson in second, Todd Crawford and Cook and Murata in third place, and Zane Davis, what a good showing for him, in fourth place overall. Todd Bergen winds up in sixth, but it was a big win for the cutter, Boyd Rice, as he gets the title on OK and Short.
Thank you. Well, I don't know really what the review was. I think they thought I might have been too close to the fence down there on the end. But I had no idea if I was or not. That cow felt really good down there on the end. She was real fast, and actually I got behind her just a little bit. And she come way off the fence and made the degree of difficulty a lot tougher than what it actually probably should have been. But I just got by that cow and had me 2 big turns there, so I kind of got lucky.
Congratulations to OK and Short and Boyd Rice as they win the Snaffle Bit Futurity. So long from Reno.